Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. Liftoff.
Hello. What is up, guys? Hunter Klein here, bringing you this week's episode of Interplanetary Monkeys. We are back, family. We are back from the holiday celebration, the visitation to Nebraska, New Year's, which I hope went well for all of you. My experience was beautiful, but interesting and a little scary. We'll talk about all this here in a bit. It didn't feel good taking the week off. I'll tell you that right now. For those of you unaware, last week we did not release a IP Monkeys episode because I was visiting family, and due to technological limitations, I was unable to record the episode, and that is the first time in 105 weeks that we have missed an IP episode release. I didn't beat myself too much up about it. But consistency is, something that we pride ourselves on, and it wasn't passed up lightly. I'll say that much. It wasn't passed up lightly, but I don't regret it at all. Time with family was good. The life I live, I always talk about how beautiful it is in regards to exploring and getting outside the box and traveling to new locations and starting over. First off, the beauty of moving, as much as I have, is you have the ability to shed your skin, your shell, and go into a new human. Embody all those characteristics you wish you would have before. And while this was more prevalent when I moved from Nebraska, because I had been in Nebraska for 18, 19, 20 years, and everyone I knew had this very, clear idea of who I am and what I did. So that idea of shedding your skin and forming anew was much more prevalent then. But along with this is the ability to get out of your comfort zone, become more independent, get better at spending time by yourself, get better at socializing, finding new people, which I'm not good at and haven't improved at almost at all. But, I believe that the positives outweigh the benefits here immensely. I don't regret it at all. And if I could take it emotionally and mentally, I would move again. But I love Austin, and quite frankly, it beats you down. But it would be wrong for me to continually spout off the positives and not mention the negatives. That being away from family is, missing out on the growth of your loved ones. Seeing my siblings grow up is very interesting. We'll talk more about this at the end. I want to make sure that I keep the personal life towards the end of the podcast after some of the general news. But yeah, it's definitely something that I missed and didn't take for granted while I was home. It was beautiful to see those people. Last night, I have to say, I got chased by a tornado in my dream, and it was absolutely terrifying. This tornado literally spawned on my back. Like, the funnel happened right above me, and it was this little thing, but it spawned on my back. And I remember incredibly well, the debris in the tornado actually hitting my back and stinging me. Also, I was in the middle of an open field, okay? The most open field you've ever seen in your life. And it raised the question. I have this question, okay? Why is it that when we have nightmares or bad dreams or wherever the negativity or shittiness of your dream is on that bad end of the spectrum, why is it that the brain always decides to be so ruthless? I genuinely mean this. Why is it that the brain decides to make things as bad as possible? Is it trying to teach you a lesson? Is it trying to... It always has to make it the worst case scenario. Oh, you're getting hit by a tornado? Let's put you in the flattest, most open field that's ever existed in the galaxy. Oh, you're getting chased by a masked killer? Here's the longest, darkest hallway you've ever seen. I'm just so curious why the brain just decides to simulate these incredibly terrifying situations consistently across all humans. There's got to be a reason for it. There has to be a reason for it. Is it to improve reaction to survival mechanisms? So when you're, awake, you're in a hunter-gatherer society, you're more on your toes. I have no idea. But there has to be a reason for it. There's a reason for everything. There's a reason that you cry. I think we talked about that once. I'm pretty sure it communicates a sympathetic response by other humans. So like it's a survival mechanism. But we're not going to get into it again. We've already asked these questions. To news. First off, Betty White passed away. Now, I'll be the first to say I'm not a big Betty White person. I don't really even know what she did. I don't know what she does. But I know she's wildly successful. And the reason I'm bringing this up, I don't know anything about it. I don't really even know how to take, prayers out and to her family. And I mean, she was very old. So, I mean, I'm sure she was ready to go. Celebrate the life, don't mourn the death. I hear people say like, oh, so sad. Betty White passed away all over the internet. Betty White passed away. It's like, guys, she's 90 what? I think she might have been like in the late 90s. Come on. Okay, my grandpa is on his deathbed right now, quite literally, at 82 years old. And he's just like, every day's an extra one. He has that mindset, and it makes it a lot easier for the family. But bottom line is, that's a lot of years. And especially with someone like Betty White, who's just wildly successful, it's like, okay, like if there is making the most out of one singular human life, you got damn close, Betty. Good fucking job. And rather than, when we show up to that tombstone, whether it be a loved one or a celebrity, we show up to that hospital room where they're about to pass away. It's a celebration. In those moments shouldn't be grief, sadness. Yeah, of course it'll happen. It's natural. But the majority of the feeling should be, a light head nod and a silence of appreciation. Like you did it. You did it. Okay. So I figured that was worth talking about. Honestly, I'm a little, I lack sympathy when it comes to death. I have a difficulty really, I wouldn't say I have difficulty, but I think more unable to feel, grief when someone passes. For whatever reason, my brain just kind of brushes it off. Like, I don't know if it's because I have this like odd relationship with death or, yeah, I'm not sure. But, yeah, so I might be a little like out of touch here with this take, but who knows? Who knows? It's how I feel. Okay, and that's just the damn honest truth. Along with that, while I was back home, I saw the new Spider-Man movie. I see a lot of movies that I don't talk about on the podcast, but this one, it has to be mentioned because it was beautiful. Rarely do I go into a movie theater or go to any type of movie experience and get surprised. Not expect at all what happens, let alone a superhero movie. When was the last time you saw a superhero movie and you didn't know exactly what was going to happen? Especially you comic book nerds. Okay? And I pride the term nerd. I'm a nerd myself. I champion that term. So I'm not striking anybody down here. But what I'm saying is you guys go into a movie theater with a clear expectation. If that expectation is not met, you're pissed off. You're posting on Reddit, Twitter. Now, going into the Spider-Man movie, and I'm not going to ruin it for anybody, but it was like, what? Half the time I was like, what the fuck is going on? Half the time I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. It's creative. It's outside the box. It's risky. It's not your standard superhero movie, guys. It is not your standard movie, let alone. It was very, very interesting. I thought it was so cool. So if you have a chance, go watch it. It is worth the money. Movie theaters are cool, man. I know, the age of technology is probably going to completely destroy the brick and mortar movie theater. I hope not, though. The experience of going to the movies there's something special about it. There really is. Now, I have to say, to my Nebraska listeners, guys, I know you guys have family, friends, but that place is rough. Omaha, Lincoln. Comparatively to other cities around the country, guys, those places are, whew. I mean, I was in Omaha and like half the city was just dead. It was just half the stores and malls were run down. And it's like, what the hell is going on here? It felt like since I had left, everyone had left Omaha. Like the population was like 60. And then if you're right, the reason I say this is because the movie theater was similar to that. The mall I went to where the movie theater was is rough. Part of this, I believe, is the fact that all Nebraska malls are generally indoors. Okay, some are outdoors, but in these new cities like Austin, Arizona, all the malls are like outdoor oriented or better designed, and they thrive. They do. Here in Austin, I mean, there's not a single place that's just not booming and brand new. So it's just very weird juxtaposition with Nebraska, where some of the locations I was at is just rough. It was just rough, guys. So I know you guys have loved ones. I know you have family. I know you have friends. I know you have social circles. I know you have familiar bars, but goddamn, guys, it gets a little better when it comes to both weather and infrastructure. I'll tell you that much. One interesting thought I had. So here's an issue going on with my Google to lay the foundations for this conversation. That being that during the section of the podcast that was the news article of the week. If you guys remember, I probably will do it in the future. I haven't done it recently, but I was going through Google News and selecting the most bullshit, dumb, clickbait news articles that were just hilariously, like, you can't even imagine writing them. They were so humiliating. And I would click these links as a result, right? Like, Kim Kardashian wears a new skirt and the wind takes it. It's like, come on. Like, first off, who's writing this? So most of the time I would just click the article to find out who the reader was, or the writer was, to feel pity for them, because I truly don't respect the content they create. But as a result, the algorithms of the internet, as they should, are now spewing out these like super Daily Mail. This is what Kim K's wearing. This is who's dating who. Oh my God, these two were seen at the mall. And I click on some of them. Okay, they got me. They're so ridiculous. I don't know why I click. I'm not even interested. I hate myself the entire time I read through these. I feel like gossiping. I feel like a Beverly Hills housewife. It's not good. I stay away from it now, but for a couple of weeks there, I was in a rut. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest with everyone, and I'm not proud of it. But as a result, I'm getting these just crazy algorithms that are like, oh, he wants this. Let's get him. Send him the craziest titles. And a thought that came over in my head this morning while I was mulling through my news feed is, it has to be so hard to date or find relationships, find friends as a famous person. It truly does. I know money. Yeah, famous people have money. How can you complain from your 5-star hotel? Yep. I realize that. But when you're famous or extremely, in the public eye, you can't date normal people. You can't. For the most part, you can't. Why? Okay, first off, let me lay the groundwork. There are famous people, well known, that have dated and married normal people, but it's not an easy task, and it's not a zero risk type of task. First off, when you are in the public eye and you are a influencer, your information is extremely valuable. Okay, you generally have people that are fans of you that are trying to constantly get in contact with you at crazy levels. You have psychos. You have people doxing your home, figuring out where you live, calling fake SWAT things on your house where they call the police and say, I have a bomb at this location. And the SWAT team shows up to your home and you're like chilling on your couch. Okay, this stuff happens. People want to know where you live. People want to know where you go. People want to meet you. People want to see you. And all this stuff has extreme value, whether it's monetary or like socially in these weird, creepy circles. You never know if someone you're running into, one, is going to sell your information, two, knows who you are and doesn't really have the intentions of dating you, or is like a psycho fan that's creepily stalking. You just never know. That's why these extremely wealthy, famous people in California have to use these like gate-kept apps. I'm not exactly sure what it is called. If I think real hard, I might be able to think of it. No, I don't know. But they have these apps where you have to apply to get on. You have to apply. I make this much money. I do this. I have this many Twitter followers. So you can get into this like elitist group. And it looks really odd from the outside. It's like, oh, all these famous people date each other. And yeah, it's like elitist. But they almost have to. Because poor people, people that aren't rich, are so ravagely desperate for cash that you can't, it's hard to trust people. People are so ravagely desperate for attention and money because they have this delusion that it'll fix all of their problems in life, that these wealthy, well-known influencers have to protect themselves because it's crazy. It's so crazy. You never know. Anybody you meet, whether it's a connection to a friend, a dating app, you never know if the person that you're meeting is trying to get something or has a motive. And you can't blame that person because they are poor or they're not well off money-wise. They have to worry about rent. They could take a picture of Amaranth or whoever it might be and sell their information for this month and next month's rent. It's survival. It's pretty rough. I don't know. It's a weird tangent, but it's very interesting. You know, the social interactions of famous people. And you hear a lot of people like no new friends. Drake, I know it's like a quote on his one of his songs, but it's the truth. Drake can't make new friends that are normal guys. Sorry, pal, I don't know if you hoped, but if you meet Drake, you're probably not going to become friends with him because he can't trust you. And I don't know if you can even trust yourself. Regardless of how well you and Drake get along, there's always going to be this crazy, like, unknown, deep psychological motive behind you where you're like, oh, maybe I can get some followers. Maybe I can get some money. Maybe I can ride in a wraith. It's just so weird. Humans are weird, guys. Survival mechanism, it's weird. Okay, it's very weird. On a less, I don't know, philosophical, deep note, I saw an article about space junk this week. Now, if you guys are unaware, space junk, while we're building, rockets and flying out to space, there's trash that happens. Okay, and obviously there's no landfills in space because there's no land. So trash has to go somewhere. Okay, so we just throw it out. Now you think, wow, yeah, let's just throw out junk into space. Like, it's so infinite and empty. It's like, yeah, who cares? Well, unfortunately, we are not traveling far enough from space to have this junk leave orbit. So as a result, we have literal space junk, incredible amounts of shit, quite literally, there is poop and pee up there, but also like metallic junk that just flies around in orbit around our planet because when we throw it out, it just falls into orbit and goes around. Now, I'm not sure if this was a clickbait article or an actual concern, but it would seem that crystallized urine from space station is flying around the planet at such high amounts that it is a legitimate concern for future space endeavors. Okay? Urine waste excreted from astronauts over the last 50 years is a legitimate concern for space technology that we're putting into the orbit. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I thought it was so interesting. But along with that, you have like out of commission satellites and you have like other random shit. And it's like, okay, just get rid of it. Yeah, let's just get rid of it. Let's just go grab that crystallized piece of urine flying at 60,000 miles per hour around the orbit, the planet. That's fine. Yeah, let's just figure that out. Like, how the hell do we deal with this, guys? I have no idea. Like, part of me just thinks you just get like a giant fucking air cannon and fucking blow it out of orbit, but that probably doesn't work. So, I mean, there's not even air up there. So I don't even know if an air cannon would be able to, what would an air cannon blow? I don't think it would blow at all. So that was a bad idea. Regardless, guys, life's crazy. Things are interesting. First off, let's get to the personal life. Yeah, it was crazy to see family. All my siblings have grown like 2 feet. My brother's voice has changed like 13 octaves. every time he talked for like the first 3 days in the house, I thought we were getting robbed. I was like, hey, what's up, Cash? He's like, hey, bro. I was like, what? In a year's time, everyone's changed so much. It's worth bringing up. For the first time in my life, I've been the older sibling for a long time. And as a result, as a result of my role in the age gap, I've never been able to really talk to my siblings. It's always been this very like parental, distant role where I can never do anything with them because I'm much older. I can't really participate in sports. It's always me just like taking advantage of how little and make them fight, you know? Like I'd make them fight or I'd make them do shit for me. And for the first time in my life, on the way home from a family gathering, we had a deep conversation about life, goals, depression, anxiety, family, money. And it was incredibly impactful for me. It was a very interesting scenario. It's like the first time in my life I could actually give my siblings advice. You know, how do I deal with depression in this way? I'm struggling to figure out my purpose in this way. It was so crazy. I loved every second of it. It was very beautiful. It was like a 2-hour conversation. Luckily, we were driving from Omaha, like across the state. And it was beautiful. I cannot explain in words how special that moment was because, again, it's the first time in 16, 17, 18 years living with these, or, you know, spending incredible amounts of time with these 3 individuals. It was just hard to explain in words. It was beautiful. That made the trip back home worth it altogether. Not to mention time with family and so on and so forth. My trip home was just motivating. It was like, okay, first off, I love this adventure that I'm going on with my business that I've been talking about, this business endeavor. I love it. I wake up every day excited to work on it again. And that's important. But what's even more important is the implications that it has, the potential to influence myself and my family. And that was really what it is, the impact it was made. Like my ultimate decision or ultimate thought, as if I wasn't already committed. It's pretty clear I was already committed, but leaving home was like, okay, we need to burn the boats. Now, burning the boats is, I guess, this idea that, you know, you go on an adventure. Okay, you're going to go take a leap. And you're going to go on an endeavor. You're going to chase a dream. But while you're chasing that dream, let's say the process of you chasing that dream is you taking a boat and that dream being an island. And you go park your boat outside that island. Okay. And while you're risking a lot to establish that island, to make that dream a reality, you still have the boat there. Okay, you have a way out. And that boat's ready to go. You can go back to your normal job, or you can, you know, move back home with family. You know, things aren't, you know, you're not fighting for your life on that island. You're not fighting for your life on that dream. And the idea of burning the boat is essentially, you know, I'm chasing this dream. I'm on this island. I'm looking at my way out, my alternatives, and I go over to that fucking boat and I just light it on fire. Essentially saying, there is no other way. I am locking myself on this island. I am backing myself into a corner where I have to fight for my life to survive and I have no way out. Essentially just saying, hey, this is it. There is absolutely, in no way, shape, or form, any other option. And that was the decision we made. I know we were already there. There's no other option. But we have burned the boats. Like, mentally, I have, like, to the fullest extent, burned the boats, and we are going for it. We are going for it. Now, right now is mainly investor time. Now, the interesting thing about raising money for a project that actually has the opportunity to scale. Now, I'm not talking about some Chad with an app idea that brings it up like, hey, bro, can I get $20,000? I mean, I have a 150-page logic describing every functionality of the app. I have an award-winning design team that's one contract away from starting the UI design process. And I have a business plan that outlines everything from target market to competitors in the space. So I'm actually raising money for a legitimate product for the industry that I work in that I believe will revolutionize the industry I work in, aka sports performance. The issue right now is that I need to develop the app, and the hardest part about these projects, the hardest part about raising money is the first $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Okay. And here's why. Investing in me right now, regardless of my crazy business plan and my projections for the future and my functionality, the app, regardless of how well you believe in my project, any donations at this point are quite literally charity. All right. I cannot go to a random wealthy person in my city and be like, hey, I have an idea. I'm 24 years old. I've never been an entrepreneur before. I have no past proof of the ability to return investors' money. You are quite literally betting on me. You're not betting on my company. You're betting on me. And as a result, the first $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 of almost any endeavor, any entrepreneur's career, let's say that, is the most difficult. Because let's say my right now is about $8,500. If I get this $8,500, I can sign this contract with my UI design team and have a completely designed, fledged out mobile application. And with this, now the opportunities become endless. I can make flyers and get beta testers to sign up, get people to test my app. I can take this to investors and be like, hey, this is not just an idea. This is an actual product, and this is what it looks like, and this is what it does. As you can imagine, these first chunks of money are the most difficult because, again, let's say that I raise $100,000 for this app and start this company, start this mobile application, and it has relative success. The next time I start a new project, let's say when I'm 32 years old, and I need that initial funding, I can be like, hey, I've done this before. I've raised this amount of money, and I've done this with it. I've returned investors this much on money. It becomes a lot easier, right? Not only do you have your entrepreneurial CV or your resume improved, but you have investors that you've made money in the past. So that's the most difficult thing right now. I'm in the most difficult part of this project. Absolutely. I'm almost certain of it at any time. It is very far out of my control. I do not have the money myself to start this. I need people to invest and believe. Now, luckily, I think I have a family member that's willing to donate that initial amount, the hardest amount, which is the optimal path, because I'm not going to get some random Joe Schmo that invests in companies to be like, oh, yeah, you seem like you're pretty passionate here. You know, it's difficult. It's difficult. It is very overwhelming. But I think we've got it. I spent time over the holidays to read some books on the process of building mobile-centric businesses, technology businesses. And I think if we can get this initial money, we can do it, guys. I really do believe. Once I get the UI design finished, once I get things trademarked, I can actually start talking about the application with you guys, which I will. We'll go over in detail what it does and what niche it fills in the market. I'll give you guys the pitch and hopefully get some of you guys to sign up for testing so you guys can give us feedback on the app. The main idea of the app is that here's the deal. Here's the absolute deal, and here's why I believe the app is going to be wildly successful. And almost everyone I do talk to believes it'll be wildly successful. There is a market for the app. Okay, my software that I've developed, which is going to be packaged into a mobile application, has a functionality that served a specific market. It is for my field. I know there is a demand. The entire reason the app was created is because of interactions I was having with some athletes in my area, specifically poor athletes. I don't want to say poor, less financially fortunate athletes who couldn't afford my service, but were in a very poor spot physiologically. I know the app has demand. The only way this project fails is if the user, the customer, does not enjoy navigating, using, and being a part, subscribing to this app. So, how do we avoid this? We obsessively focus on user experience. And I mean obsessively. I mean every single stage, prototype, point 1, point 2, point 3, every new application, every new piece, feature of the app as we go through development is consistently tested with users in the market. Essentially an app built by athletes for athletes. Quite literally, the athletes And some of you guys, if you're going to be testing, are going to build the app for me. This allows me to not have to guess at all. I know every piece of this app is tested and has been run through my target customer. The target customer of my app just happens to be the thousands of kids I talk to. So it's very easy, or I shouldn't say very easy. It's not an overzealous goal to get to assume that I can get, let's say, 1,000, 2,000 testers. And I can essentially, by the time this app releases, know that every single feature of it is approved by the athlete, approved by the people that are going to use it, that it is an app that people want to get involved in. Things aren't too difficult. It's not out of touch. It's perfect. And that is the goal. And that's what this first $10,000 will get me. And then it just spirals out of control. I truly do believe that. I truly do believe that. Again, the most difficult part right now is raising money. I only feel comfortable raising about $10,000 until I can get this UI design, because I believe that it's no longer a charity case. And right now I don't want to ask people for money when it's just an idea. You know, it might as well be some chat on Facebook like, yep, got another app idea. You know, I need to be able to show people, hey, this is legit. And this is how many users I have ready to test. This is what the app looks like. It makes it a lot easier. Along with that is I need a co-founder. I do. I need a chief technology officer. I need someone that's capable of building a mobile application. I need a partner. So if any of you know anybody that's technologically, Jesus Christ, inept, or ept. Inept means unable, I believe. Someone who's skilled, someone who's passionate, someone who you believe that would vibe well with the attitude we have here on the podcast, my attitude, my outlook, my obsessiveness. I'd be offering vested equity. That is, as you are a part of the company for 4 or 5 years, your ownership of the company increases to a certain value. So someone can't just join in and be like, oh, here's 20%. All right, 1 week later, see ya. And yeah, I need someone I need someone on the technology side that can make the brains of this software their baby. Again, I'm willing to offer equity, and keep your eyes out, guys. If you know anybody, please message me. I'd love to talk to them. It's not guaranteed, and I'm not handing this away like candy. Obviously, talk to them, hang out with them, see what they're like, ask them questions, test them a little bit. But, I mean, I am handing over hundreds of thousands of dollars to this person. But I need it. I need someone to be, overlook this. I can't do it all on my own. I take this individualist, I can do this by myself outlook a lot, but the more I look into it, the more I study how successful apps have done it. It's just the best case scenario, in the best interest of this company, I need at least another partner in crime. I need another partner in crime. So keep your eyes out. Chief Technology Officer, someone who's passionate, someone who's crazy like me, and someone who knows how to code mobile applications, knows how to code software. All right. Hopefully it works, guys. I believe it will. I believe it will, so much so that I'm kind of ready to risk it all to the dangerous amount to see if it will work. There's no question of whether or not, if it comes down, if I need to shell out every single last dollar in my bank account, I'll probably do it. And it's scary to say, it's scary to think about, but I probably would. I'd probably put myself in a very, very terrible situation just to see if this could go through, because I do believe in it, and I have to see. I have to see if this idea will work. Something I would not be able to live without if I couldn't pursue. I think about it too much. It is the soul of my life. It holds everything together. It's essentially the only thing I care about. I really don't talk to women anymore. I really don't socialize. I don't care about making friends. I don't care about relationships. I don't care about anything other than just seeing if I have what it takes to make a successful mobile application currently. A successful company currently. So we're putting in the work. I promise you guys, it is delusional. It is scary. It is obsessive. Kind of the same shit I've always been doing the last couple of years. But we are doing it, and we are doing everything in our power to make sure it's successful. I am ready to hop into a van and drive across this country, for fucking 3 months straight, talking to high school baseball teams about this app and getting tested. Like, I am ready to do it all. I am emailing professors at local universities that teach mobile applications courses saying, hey, you got a good student? Send them my way. I am handwriting letters to some of the most powerhouses, the powerhouses of my industry saying, hey, 15 minutes, please check this out. Please. You will not regret it. I need your input. I need something. I'm doing everything. We are going for it all, family. We are going for it all, okay? Bottom line, life is good. I am on the mountain. I believe this is what life is all about. I believe that moments like these, this grind, this upward climb is what makes being a human beautiful. It is the most beautiful part of the human experience, growth. I am going to miss this climb if and when this company becomes successful. If and when this journey ever ends, I'm going to miss these days, these moments, these mornings where I wake up without any question of what I want to do, with a passion and drive to change my and my family's life, to see whether or not I have what it takes to be successful. So bottom line is life could not be better right now. I don't talk to other people. I don't really have a lot of friends. I don't do anything other than work, and I wouldn't have it any other way. All right. Very thankful. I hope everyone is doing well. If you're on a high, enjoy it. If you're on a low, battle through. Peaks and valleys, friends. Humanity's rough. Humanity's rough. We try to put ourselves in these little, small little bubbles of comfort and stability and tell ourselves life is beautiful. But it is inevitably, life will come around and smack you in the fucking face and remind you that this shit ain't easy, friend. Okay? This shit's not all daffodils and sunflowers. It's fucking scary as shit at times. It's unforgiving. It's unfair. And yeah, we just got to do our best. Okay, with all that being said, we're lucky to be here. Okay, what's the alternative? Shut your eyes and find out, all right? All right. Feels good to be back, guys. Feels good to be back. This podcast is medicine for me. And I appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you're still listening to the podcast, much love to you. Much love to people that are reaching out, supporting the project. I hope you guys get something out of this, whether it be inspiration, a laugh, distractions from your troubles in life, whatever it may be. Thank you for being here. I hope I can help. And that's it for this week's episode of Interplanetary Monkeys. This is Hunter Klein. You'll hear from me next week. Peace, peace.